Welcome to the Vol Bros. My name is Evan. This is my brother Rustin, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And man, oh man, we had an awesome treat Tuesday night with Malik Foreman, and now we have his high school and college teammate with us tonight, Miss Ann Rising country music star, Mr. Thomas Edwards, the 8-time world's strongest man champion. Welcome, Thomas. Good to have you with us.
Hey, great to be here. That opening intro visual, I was ready to run through a brick wall, so that's why.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I liked it, man. It fired me up. It's great to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Just for all of our followers and listeners who are watching, I already made the brick by brick joke, so it's gone. You can't do it. It's out.
Well, Thomas, man, we really do appreciate you joining us. One thing that one of my favorite things about your time at Tennessee was when you all would do the Life in the Shadows posts on Twitter and stuff. That was awesome. And
man, that was so much fun.
But my favorite one,
yeah, go ahead.
Y'all ever did. My favorite one was when Juwan James was in the photo too. So you got a first round draft pick in the photo, and yet there's Dobbs back there with the,
That's right. It was everyone. There's another funny one that's right up that alley, and we were at an Italian restaurant. The running backs and the O line and the quarterbacks, and in the picture is Alvin Kamara, and I think it was another guy that was actively playing in the NFL, but the biggest one's Alvin in the foreground, not getting a picture taken, and Dobbs in the middle of this Italian restaurant getting a picture taken in the background. But I mean, dude, I'm telling you, that we got a live Sports Center interview, man, 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Matt Berry,
remember that,
dude. I was hot off of shoulder surgery a week before that, so like. It was literally a week before that. So like if you watch that, if the video's out there still on the ESPN somewhere, my shoulder is sitting like this, or my hand is sitting like this on my arm, because I was supposed to be one of those slings, I was a week out of surgery, and also like it was a painful surgery, so I was medicated too. So like it was a time. It was like we had such a good interview, and Dobbs came in and they loved it. But the thing is, like this is what I always say about Life in the Shadows. Current day, someone does that, brand deals, ads, NIL money, because that's a platform that now has a complete national spotlight overnight, and we had thousands of followers. I still have the Twitter account, and there's thousands of people, and we could have kept growing it with, it would have been fun.
If I'm wrong,
it was hilarious.
If I'm wrong, say so. But didn't College Game Day even do a spotlight about it at one point?
Yep. Yeah, at Busch Gardens, we got to skip all the lines all day because of it, and that's how we just swung. That wasn't really because of it; it's because they're doing a Dobbs special, but like we just swung it that like it'd be great if we could get content with a couple of linemen, and Dobbs lived with 3 linemen, me, Brett Kendrick, and Dylan Wiseman, so like we were always running around anyway. So like we got it was like the middle, like Busch Gardens absolutely packed, and like why do they even have the signs that say like wait time 220 minutes? Like who's gonna sit there for 4 hours?
For real.
Yeah, but people do. Like Shikra, that was like the big roller coaster. We went straight up the stairs right to the front and got to ride that. And that was a good little perk. Being friends with Dobbs had a lot of perks, and especially when you're in Knoxville or on football trips.
Absolutely.
Well, Thomas, we know you're on a time crunch, so we want to make sure we get to all of our questions. And then we also want to make sure everybody's aware of what you're going to be doing on September 29th.
Absolutely.
So it's Gator Hater Week, so let's just jump right into that. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see on Saturday? What do you think what are you watching for?
I mean, I really just some more consistency. I think there's a lot of people that are kind of like scratching their head at this point, but the bottom line is like you got to establish identity as a football team to come out as a win. I know people say that all the time. A win is a win. Austin P had a pretty stout defense. You don't want to have to be in this scenario where I'm sitting here talking about the FCF's team's defense, but like it is what it is. But I mean, I think generally we're going to get the job done Saturday. I think we have a lot of people, a lot of weapons that have potential to really strike. Like Squirrel White, man, I remember watching him throw over the offseason when I went with Dobbs to when he would throw with Milton, and he was a freak, 100 miles an hour the whole time. Had to tell him to slow down. Like he just wants to play ball, and I think he's due a breakout game, and like, this could be it, dude. But and then also just to win in the swamp, I think we got that. you know, we have so much momentum over the last year, and we knocked down so many walls that were kind of poisoning us, you know, and I feel like that overall momentum as a player is really helpful, just to see, like, you know, it's not just about, you know, this game is one moment that's going to continue a 2-3 year momentum going, you know. So I think that's some good pressure for the players, and I think they'll rise up and get the job done for sure.
So you kind of gave a little bit of a hint there, but if you could pick one person for this Saturday, who do you think is going to have a big game this week?
Yeah. Oh shoot. I think. Well, it's hard. If I'm a gambling man, so I don't want to give you a receiver is like more of a long shot, you know. But I think Dylan Sampson, running back. I think Florida does not look good, and I think by any means we look better as a team for sure on paper. But this game is never played on paper, and it's never really it's a rivalry game. You know, like you have to play this game to know what's going to happen, but. I think we have opportunity to run a lot of yards on them. I mean, our Cooper's back in the lineup. I saw that the other day, and you know, Cooper's hungry. He's a leader, and I just interviewed him with my NIL company that I work with called the Players Lounge Sunday at the Graduate. So it seemed like, you know, him and Jay Camp, the left tackle, John Campbell, like those guys they're hungry to win. And I could just tell from watching them that they want to have a good, you know, they want to have another 200-yard rusher game kind of thing.
So knowing what you just said and thinking about, you know, what Saturday could look like, what would you say your score prediction is going to be? Especially if you said you're a gambling man. So, you know,
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't gamble on Tennessee ever.
The line, especially not when you're a student.
Yeah, that's right. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Everybody in the state of Iowa needs to be listening to this right now, because
Yeah,
they
that's
really
right.
struggled with that this year.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
The line keeps shifting between 6.5 and 8.5. So what are you thinking for a score prediction?
You know, I think I would say I'll start off saying it'll be a 28-10 game. I think we can pull a good.
Wow.
I think we can really win that much. And it's not because I'm so bullish on the way Tennessee is playing. I think Florida is the worst they've been in a long, long time.
Yeah,
and
totally agree.
And this is the first matchup in history that Florida's been unranked in the swamp playing Tennessee ever in the history of the matchup. Like that, like it's never been this kind of wonky one way or other. We're pretty nearsighted when we see like the last couple weeks. We wanted to, you know, we want the world, we always, that's what we do as Vols fans. Like people would wake up in my year 3 when we would go, 8-4 the previous year. And like by the time the first kickoff was, we were winning the national championship that year. Like people, like that's what, so, and we saw how that worked.
Yes, you just described all of Vol Nation. That's what makes
that's
us
me
beautiful.
too. I mean, I am that too. Like, so I'm in that now, especially now. I mean, I'm sitting there reading about like where everyone's from, and I'm like, just you think this boy's got it? You think he's tough enough? But, I'm now like I never thought I'd be a person that would know who a recruit was. I was like, come on, let these kids just kind of grow up, make the decision. But like now I just know their names now because people are talking about them around, and I'm like, maybe this is like level 2 of fall football fandom. But yeah, anyway, I think it's going to be a big day for the Vols. I think they know that they got a stage to step up to, and I think they got the guys to do it.
To build off what you just said, if they only allow 10 points, that is I mean, their defense is stepping up big time. If that happens, that'd be wonderful. It would be great.
Don't take anything. None of this is financial advice. Don't take any of this to the bank. But hey.
So you just mentioned, going into a season thinking you're going to win a national championship, and we talked about this with Malik Tuesday night. What's it feel like now to turn on television on Sunday and see so many guys that you played with tearing it up in the NFL?
Man, it's awesome. And honestly, like I was never really an NFL fan and never had a team that I cheered for. I live in Nashville now and have for 5 years, but still, I don't really like the Titans. I like the game day environment, but I just can't cheer but for all the people in the league that I know, guys like Kendall Vickers, my freshman year roommate.
Yeah.
I mean, he came to school and he weighed 235 and he left 300 and now he's played 6 years in the NFL. Like there's so many guys that that are in a spot, are about to be in a spot or fighting for a spot, and then there's guys that are shining that you see, like Reeves Maben last week doing the fake punt conversion, and
John
the,
Kelly,
the team captain.
yeah, it's right. He's the silent ball, man. Me and Jalen, I was talking to Jalen last night about just catching up with them because we were pretty tight, and yeah, it's just awesome, man. It's super cool to see it, and it's I think really it just attributes to those guys. The guys that continue to do well in the NFL are playing their best football year after year after year after year, and like guys like Emmanuel Mosley, who is another guy, came in skinny as a beanpole and left huge, jacked, and quick, and then how he's 5 years, big contract kind of guy. So it's awesome to see it, man, for sure. And to kind of revert it back to their time at Tennessee, I think it's really easy in hindsight to be like, oh, we had so many people, but all these guys have hit their strides at different points in their careers, and people always say, why didn't Alvin get the ball more? It's because Jalen Hurd was a game away from breaking the rushing record in 3 years, like it's that you don't think about that part of it anymore, but people always, it just looks kind of a clear decision in hindsight. But I mean, like, we had so many great guys, man. It was a blast to keep up with them still.
And if Jalen hadn't gotten injured, I think he'd still be tearing it up in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
The 49ers were high on him.
Yeah, no doubt. And I caught up with him like probably 6 months ago in Nashville. Just saw him at a bar, and he seemed he was doing well, high spirits, and being able to, because it's so tough to be able to get injured. Like, think about that in like a regular, like in a working in like a corporate office job. What if like all of a sudden there was no way you could work any type of a job where you're behind a desk ever again?
Right.
Like, that would shake your life up, or like you'd have to do a completely different thing, and that's kind of the thing too. And sometimes it's even more difficult because they've always been in this bright spotlight their whole life, and really a career it's a unique and awesome opportunity. So I mean, it's crazy though. It's awesome, but big picture, it's cool. I cheer for him every Sunday. I'm wearing a bunch of different NFL hats for all those
Absolutely.
guys.
Rustin, before you ask your next question, we have a comment that's going to feed perfectly into your question. So we've had a few comments come in. Zach, I love Zach. He's the man. He's saying 56-13 Vols win.
It's right here.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Nice.
Zach said Florida fans are about to learn the words to Rocky Top, how much we're going to be scoring on that defense.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
So the question of what do you want to see? Mr. Jones said, I want to see Joe make more of an effort in the run game. I feel like if he ran more, the passing lanes would open up. Potentially, yeah, absolutely. But this question right here from Brennan was perfect. He said, "Is Thomas's background intentional, brick by brick?" Rustin actually mentioned that before we even started the show. So Brennan's question just leads perfectly into your next question, and I think it's the one everybody wants to hear.
So Malik gave us a great Butch Jones story Tuesday night. What is your go-to or top 2 Butch Jones stories from your time?
Oh man,
Thomas, you never fell in a helmet, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
good.
I was pretty agile on my feet. The brick background is intentional. I think I had to make a statement here. If I had a little spray paint can, I would do team 118, team 117 through team 120.
Man, my son and I, we were determined to find one of those team of 119 boxes. We were all over the place trying to find those things.
Dude, we had so much merch with all that stuff on it. That's our gear. I guess I'm in music world now, so I say merch. So, but it's gear when you're in football. But what story did Malik tell?
He told about Butch spraining his ankle, celebrating the Hail Mary.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, okay. I think. Well, the funniest thing about Butch is he knew everyone in America. I still keep up with Coach Jones. He's a good guy. I like him. He got struck with a lot of bad luck, with what happened at Tennessee. Let's get past that. Let's talk about the funny stories. So the amount of people that he knew was just comical, and it made no sense. Like, it would be like, all right, we got a special guest today at our spring game, and it's Allen Iverson. And then it would be, and then it's like, oh, we got third down for what going? We got a special guest here. It's Lil Jon, and then and David Goggins came to talk to our team. Like I'm telling you, a guy like me who took the entire thing in, like I probably went to like $25,000 worth of motivational speeches and like that kind of stuff for free. You know, like I think I still think of some of the things that I learned from that experience. I think Coach Jones was really dead set on making us better people. You know, a lot of the times, you know, it didn't come off that way and it was perceived that wrong way, but he cared about the way that like you know, the things that always got blown out of proportion really kind of painted it in the wrong light. But like, dude, the amount of like real top tier, you know, psychologist things we did, and like emotional health things, and like all this stuff, like he was really putting the people first. And it didn't seem like, this is also coming from a guy that is incredibly grateful to even be in this opportunity. So like to be able to be there, you know, like I'm a Tennessee guy. I'm a walk on the whole time I'm there. I played some, you know, I got to the point where I was a second stringer and, you know, played in like at Kentucky against Bud Dupree. But I think, holistically, I think that one of the funniest stories though is, one of a teammate, never mind. There's this, it's hard to decipher. I guess I probably should have done my homework and kind of thought about it a little more, because there's definitely a threshold of like acceptable to repeat. I'd say one of the in our freshman talent show one time, we had a rookie show when I was a walk on. This didn't happen, but like everyone had to have. What I mean by it didn't happen, it didn't end up executing. Everyone had to have a little skit, from the O-line group, the D-line group, the wide receivers, the DBs. And my idea was to get everyone that's a freshman O-lineman to just chug a gallon of milk on stage, because like odds are you're going to throw it up after, and that's going to be funny, you know, and everyone's going to like it. And so like we got the nutritionist to bring down gallons of milk into TBA. It was like she had to get a cart and like push it across the road from the complex, because it was in TBA where we did this, underneath in that some room in there. And we got there and she rolled these up, and I feel so bad. Like we were sitting right there and she had everything, and someone else had brought us over trash cans to do it. And then I was sitting there like, all right, y'all we're like backstage, you know, and like we all get these milk, we're going to do this. And that chickened out. No one did it. But then we ended up doing like a fake skit. I mean, that was honestly a bad story. There's so many of them. I mean, there's so many of them. Just the times in the locker room, man. You know, where I used to bring a ukulele to practice all the time and sit in the locker room, and we'd all gather around, and you know, because there's some dark days in camp where it's just,
yep,
you can't, you know, you can't find a reason to be happy about anything. But hey, if you walk in and someone's got a ukulele on the couch, like, it could be worse, you know. There could be someone without it. There could be nobody with a ukulele on the couch, you know. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer. I didn't really answer it.
That's all right.
While you were saying that, Mr. Jones said, you were talking about all the different guys Butch brought in, you know, to speak, and he's like, did he bring in the duck that pulled the truck?
Yeah, that was an awesome thing too.
I got one of those shirts that had like the photo of Dobbs and I think Jalen Hurd or somebody in the truck with the duck pulling it. I got one of those shirts downstairs right now.
What a random thing, you know, to like, if out of context, people are like, what are you talking about? But like, if you know, you know.
Well, so Zach asked a really good question. I'm going to come back to it in just a minute, because that'll be how we wrap it up. But
yeah, you only got 4 minutes, so you probably need to get to your last one.
Oh yeah, it's been real fun though. I'm just rambling too. I'm cutting in my own time. Still, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Man. We love it. So unfortunately, you weren't a part of the NIL days, but if you had been, what would have been your dream NIL partnership?
Oh man, where do I begin? Crystal. I used to eat so many crystals in school.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's attainable. That's the first one. That's first base. I've already got a plan mapped out, you know, just in case something happens and time goes back 10 years, you know. So I'm getting crystals, and it's, you know, preferably the one that's on the strip. You know, I'd post it every day if I had to get 10 free crystals. Then after that, I'm headed straight for I'll probably head straight for a car dealership. You know, I'll offer like to do like fully involved, invested commercials with them. None of this like, What's up? I'm Thomas Edwards, and you should buy, none of that. I'm going to be like doing my hand motions. I'm going to be giving more energy than their top salesman. That's going to do that
Nice.
second. Third, I'd probably round it out with a nicer restaurant. I know, the Copper Cellar, not too nice, but just like when I was in college, like that was the nicest thing I knew is
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and then once a year you get to go to Roost Chris on your birthday when Juwan James is in town. I did not accept any impermissible benefits.
It's okay. The statute of limitations is all run out, and Jeremy
that's
Pruitt
right.
already took care of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
that's
that's
right.
the best moment in the history of our show right there. The realization of, wait a minute, did I just...
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
no, man, no, that never happened. But yeah, I think a lot of opportunities, man. I'm a huge social media guy, so I would have had a kind of a shift in thinking of turning myself into a business a lot quicker, and that's that shift would have helped me in my career now too. Just brand awareness and being able to build your brand.
Well, speaking of your career now, Zach said, Thomas, love your song. And just so everybody knows, Thomas has a hit song out right now, especially among Vol Nation, called Running Through That T. And dude, it's really good. Like I give you credit on that one. It's good.
I appreciate it, man. That's guys, everyone listening here, you guys are changing my life. Like the last month of my life has been a whirlwind of meetings. I cut a whole album, so that was just the first song, and I got 7 more coming, right in behind it, but they'll probably all be released as singles. But
well, that
to answer your question, let me answer this question real quick, so before I forget it. My favorite tradition was Vol Walk because
cool.
when I was a freshman walk-on, like no one knew who, I wasn't in these Vol Rivals posts. I wasn't talked about, but when I walked the first Vol Walk, 3 or 4 people were yelling Thomas Edwards, and I was like, oh wow, like this is the real deal. Like if people know who I am right now, like they really care about this. And I knew that growing up in East Tennessee, but like as a player, that was the moment that was like, oh wow, like this is awesome.
That is awesome, man. That's such a cool story.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. It was one of the best moments for sure of my whole time there.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, let me plug my music one more time for you guys. So
absolutely.
I got another song. I'm about to release it. I'm about to announce the release date soon, and it's called Old Crowd, and it's just a song about moving away from your hometown and wanting to get back to your people you grew up with and that kind of deal. But I'm super excited to release it and all the other ones behind it.
Is there any chance we might hear that on September 29th?
No, but not that yet, because we'll probably set it out in the middle of October, probably maybe into November, because you got to give it a lot of time. But the
well, let's tell people what's happening September 29th, because this is a really cool thing, especially if you're a Vols fan.
Yeah, for sure. You think I'd promote that quicker too, though. But I think that's I just like to have a good time, whatever. Like just like sitting here, man. I love chopping it up with you guys. I mean, it's well worth my time, especially we get to connect with everybody. Leaving comments and stuff. That's awesome, man. It's good stuff. I love the live environment. I think it's special to do shows like this, for sure.
Mr.
But yeah,
Jones said watching the Vols running through the T is a great feeling as a fan too.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's cool.
Oh, but the 29th, so the night before the South Carolina game, which is a grunge match, and I'm excited for that game, but I don't want to get the cart in front of the horse. Me and excuse me. Me and Josh Mancuso at the Bijou Theater are having a show, kind of a joint show there. I'm going to open up for him with a full band. We've been working real hard and tightening up all the songs I've made. We're going to play all through the record that I just recorded. So you guys can hear that for the first time ever is going to be at the Bijou, and you'll hear all the songs in their live form. And then over the next couple months, you'll be able to hear, as they come out on streaming services. But yeah, it's the tickets are at my Instagram, and I probably should have, or you're right here. Look, you got the link there. So you can buy them right there.
Yep. JoshMancuso.com/Knoxville.
Yeah. Josh is going to do a set, and then, we got a surprise at the end. We got a couple guests coming, from some players, some coaches. It's just gonna be a fun night. Good way to kick off your weekend if you're coming into Knoxville. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And tickets are selling a
especially
lot.
if you're a
so we
Vols
gotta-
fan.
Yeah, for sure. It's a Vols, total Vols thing, except for we'll keep that in the secret. There's gonna be one I think one scripted part of this that's gonna be very funny, and it's gonna be it's not just a show, man. We're gonna have fun with it. It's, as you can tell from me being here, I'm not quite the put the suit and tie on business guy. I like to have a good time. So we're gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna listen to some great music, and or you guys can listen to some great music, and I'll listen to some great comedy when I'm done hanging around with Josh too.
Absolutely. Rustin and I'll be there. We'll be sitting on row number 6. So we'll be right
There
there.
we go. That's
We'll
right.
actually be backstage also. So
Oh,
we'll get to meet
sweet.
you.
Nice. Absolutely. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Well, Thomas, we really appreciate you joining us. Just so you
Yeah.
know, I know, cutting your own records are kind of a cool thing and all, but you're an honorary bro now, dude.
Oh my gosh.
This is big time.
Oh my
Every
gosh.
person who comes on our show, as a thank you to them, we send them a gift. It's a T-shirt that says honorary bro on it.
Let's
So,
go.
this is
Let me
big.
see.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Should I just say my address out loud live on the show?
I'm
tell
not
you
going to
what.
hold on to that.
Why don't we
Yeah.
wait till we end the live stream and then you can tell me backstage?
First, I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah.
This is an incredible honor. Second, I'd like to thank my parents.
I accidentally hit the wrong.
Oh, that would
button
have been a great exit. That would have been
Yeah.
a great exit.
I meant to hit the other one and I accidentally got you instead.
All right.
Well, Thomas, we
He's
seriously do
gotta run.
appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, I
Thomas
appreciate you
has
guys.
stuff to do. So we hope everybody joins us Sunday night. Reed Carringer from Football Time in Tennessee Magazine will be joining us Sunday night. So that's really exciting. We hope everybody has a great, great evening. And Thomas, thank you again. Hang on just real quick and I'll get your address. But we thank
You're good.
you
No
again.
worries, man. Yeah, thank you for
All right.
having me. Go Vols.
Yeah,
Woo!
baby. Go Vols.